Hello, everybody, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Hey, so I have thought about doing this for such a long time. I've dreamt about it, I've told friends about it, and now I am finally here, and I am excited to have taken the leap to just go ahead and do it because I believe in the power of story and I believe in the power of storytelling, and I know that I have a good story to share with you guys. And so let's get to it. First of all, I've decided to call my channel Unchurched with Khanyi. Unchurched with Khanyi is gonna come. There it is. The reason for that is because a lot of the work that I've had to do to fully love and accept myself as I am had to do with unlearning and to really mentally and spiritually disassociate myself with the harmful dogma and rhetoric that church spews about people like me. And those are same gender loving people. You know, in church, what they teach you is that God loves the sinner but not the sin. And so, what that means is that God does not like practicing homosexuals. Now, what is a practicing homosexual? I'll tell you. A practicing homosexual is a homosexual who practices homosexuality. In hindsight, it's gay people who fuck. So I had to really come to terms with the fact that to be fully accepted in the brethren and to be part of church community, I had to deny who I was. I had in my acceptance in that space fully and solely depended on my denial of myself and on the denial of myself. And so in these past few years with therapy and growth and self-development and learning and studying and traveling, I've had to do the work, and I've done the work, and I love myself. I think that, you know, I am a strong black African lesbian woman, and that is how I present myself, and that is how I navigate this world. And so just yeah, that's why I've decided to call my channel Unchurched with Khanyi. And you know, I'm not going to it's not a space where I'm going to bash church. So actually, this is my disclaimer. Wait for it. The disclaimer is this: you don't have to defend Jesus or whatever religion you believe in. This is not about that. This channel that I'm starting is not about that. I'm not here to church bash. I'm not here to religion bash. I'm just here to share with you my journey as an individual, you know, and like this is probably the only video where I will be discussing church in the sense that I'm discussing it now, but I want to tell stories, and right now this is my story, and my story is I've had to deal with a lot of church trauma, and so there's really nothing that you can do to strip me of that story because it's something that has happened to me. So the disclaimer is this: I am not speaking for everybody. I'm not speaking for anyone actually, but myself. This is about what has happened to me. This is about my lived experiences, and I am very open to dialogue. Please note that I said dialogue and not debate because I really believe in the power of conversation, and I believe that we can converse without the need to change each other's minds, and we can converse without the need to be right. And I've found that people who want to be right, it's like that's stupid, you know, like this is my life, you're not gonna, there's no right or wrong, it is what it is. And so I don't want to debate with anyone. I'm not interested in winning an argument, but I am interested in having a conversation about how we can be together, how we can relate to each other as people, and how we can relate to each other on a human being basis, okay? And also, I've decided that I will post these videos every single Sunday. Why Sunday? think about it, I'll give you a second. Why Sunday? You're right. I'm going to do it on Sunday because that is where I spent a lot of my time when I was a teenager, right through university and even early years of being a young adult, where I was indoctrinated with church stuff. And so I thought, I'm gonna do it on a Sunday. I always say that church will never understand the trauma, and they will never understand the shame that I've had to live with in my life. And when I say church people, I'm not talking about God, okay? I love God. I love spirituality. I love praying. I love meditation. I love the universe. I love the ancestors. I am open to divine presence in my life. So when I say church, I am talking about the people in that space who treat you otherwise. And I always say that church can never understand the level of trauma that I've had to walk through in my life, in the years of shame and self-loathing. And so I thought about it before I started this. I was like, do I want an apology from church? Do I want church folk to come and say, Kanye, yo, sorry, and no. Maybe yes, I don't know, but I think no, because the very basis of an institutionalized belief lies within self righteousness. And so a self righteous person cannot take the focus off of you and look at themselves and think, where did I go wrong here? And therefore, to be self righteous, you need to feel that you are right, that what you are teaching is right, that what you believe is right, that everybody else in the world, all 8 billion of us, whatever the number is, are wrong, and you are right. And so because of that, I don't need an apology from church people. I don't need an apology from Christians. What I am interested is reaching people like me. I call myself a misfit. I call myself a failure of socialization. I call myself somebody who does not fit the box of what it is to be a human. Because how? Where's the manual? These are things that we chose. You chose your religion. You chose to be a Christian. I didn't choose to be black. I didn't choose to be a woman. I didn't choose to be gay. Believe it or not, I did. Wow, I did not. I did not choose it, but I love it as I love myself as I am. Like, I can't say that enough. And so I want people who have experienced this journey and who are still experiencing this journey. Can you imagine the pain or confusion of young Christian people who go to church every single Sunday, okay, and they sit there and they get told that their feelings are not valid, that how they feel, how their sense of attraction, who they're attracted to, is wrong. So I want those people to find me, and you guys can recommend them to me, and we can talk and we can heal together, and we can create a space where we share and we heal, and we know for a fact that we are not alone. I think there's beauty and there's power and there's healing when you know that what you are going through is not peculiar. Everybody, well, I mean, not everybody, but a lot of people go through it as well. You are not alone. So that's who I want to reach. And obviously, if they are church folk or Christians or Muslims or anyone who truly believes in their religion and they want to share and they want to converse and they want to dialogue, I'm open. Come hang out with us. We're here. We wanna hear you. We wanna feel you. We wanna be with you as well. So yeah, that's it. That's what I wanted to do, and I decided as well. I've made a lot of decisions in the past 2 weeks, that the very first topic that I want to talk about, I want to tackle today, is mental health. This is something that has been in my heart and on my mind for, God, almost a year now, and I just feel like it's something that I want to share with you guys. So, and yeah, just mental health for everyone. When I started with this journey of really thinking about mental health and everything that goes with it, I was like, yo, black people need to come into to understanding the power of taking care of your mind. And when I posted that once, a friend of mine said, Kanye, it's not just black people, it's everybody. And so I want to open it up a little bit to everybody. But for me, the journey started really with myself when I said, wow, I'm going through something very traumatic, and I could feel my mind being like, hey, something is off, you're going off. And I was lucky enough to have a friend who recommended me to a therapist. And I was like, oh my god, so many people don't get the chance to do this. And so this is what I wanted to talk about. This experience happened last year, like I said, but when I was 17 years old, my mom died. And I don't know why I smiled when I said that. Yeah, so my mom passed away when I was 17 years old. And when the depression of her death started to settle in, I went to one of the church leaders to ask her for just some advice, really, and just some counseling. And I said, yo, I am struggling. Everything I it's her. I go to church, I'm dancing in church, I see her. I go to school, I see her in the everything in my life is about her. And I'm really struggling with this depression of having lost, obviously a parent. And I'm gonna quote what she said. She said, I've never lost a parent, so I don't know how you feel. But so and so lost one, so maybe you should go and talk to her. Also, maybe you should just, leave home, just go somewhere else. Now, I was in my last year of high school, I was taking care of my brothers. Where was I supposed to go? And I was crushed by the statement. I felt like what I needed was not available because, I don't know, compassion. You don't have to have gone through something to empathize with somebody who's going through pain. Pain is pain, And what I do understand now, though, as a grown person, as a grown Kanyisa, is that religious spaces barely have qualified counselors, and pastors and ministers and whatever religion that you go to, most of those people are not trained to deal with therapy stuff. And so what I understand now is that I couldn't have access to proper counseling in that space because those people are barely qualified at anything. Truthfully, some of them have no qualification, and I stand by that. And you can come after me, internet, it's okay, it's true. They are barely qualified at anything. And so, how can they help you with your emotional healing? And so, understanding this, I extend a lot of compassion to that conversation too, where I was like, you don't know what to say to me, you don't know how to help me because you haven't studied it. There's a technique to counseling. I did psychology, and one of my courses was in counseling. There's a technique to counseling that everybody needs to have. And church has this whole idea of just come and get church counseling from home, from people who don't know how to counsel. And so that's one of my beef, I guess, and trauma in that area of feeling that my mind was not something that needed to be taken care of. And I strongly and un I don't know how to say that word, it's a big word, unequivocally un I don't know. What's the word? I don't know. I'll type it out here. But I really truly believe that when you have a mental state issue, you cannot be a functioning human being. If you have a headache, you take a pill. If you cut yourself, you bandage it. I feel like mental health needs to extend to those levels of If you are not taken care of mentally, you cannot function properly as a human being. And if you are not taken care of when your depression sets, when everything goes wrong, then for me, church was this space where I had to be positive all the time. I had to be strong all the time. God was good all the time. I remember when I started, when I started to rebel, I would go up to someone at church and I'd say, "How are you?" I wouldn't do this, obviously, but I'd be like, "How are you?" And they would say, "God is good." And I would say, "No, no, no. I know He is good, but how are you though?" And because as young as I was, I understood there was something off with feeling positive all the time, with feeling strong all the time, with having to feel like you have to hide when you are in pain because you are in this space that wants you to feel good all the time. And now that I've learned that there are no good or bad feelings, just do yourself a favor, read anything by Brené Brown. She's amazing. And what she has taught me and is that there's no good or bad feeling. Everything that you feel, you have to embrace. Everything that you feel, you have to experience. You have to let it go, and then you have to move on. This idea of being like, "Oh, sadness, let me go play some praise songs. Ooh, anger, ooh, let me just go and avoid these feelings." It doesn't work. It doesn't work. I'm sorry, it doesn't work. That's not what life is. That's not what life is supposed to be, okay? And that's what I think anyway. No, for me, my life, when I'm sad, I cry. My girlfriend has seen me cry for things I shouldn't really be crying for, but I let it all out because through this work of self-love, through this work of self-kindness and self-acceptance, I've learned that every single feeling that I feel is supposed to be there. It is not meant to be fought off. It is not meant to be prayed away. It is meant to be here in this space to remind me of the beauty of being a human person. That's it. And what I also wanted to share was with Christian folk who are watching this video. I follow some of you on Facebook. My God, you guys are going through so much. You guys are going through so much, and I really, from a place of loving you, from a place of knowing some of you, and from a place of understanding where you come from, I would advise you to seek counseling outside. Some of you are going through horrible grief, loss, divorce, whatever heartache, and whatever religion that you believe in. Make it a point that you take care of your mental space. And I mean, this is the whole conversation is something that will keep coming up as I'm doing these videos, because it's really something that I'm passionate about. It's something that I think the world needs to pay more fucking attention to. Pay attention to people. And some things you can't pray away. You can't pray away gay. Tried. You can't pray away depression. You need to sort it through. You need to sort it through with a therapist, someone who's qualified. And yeah, that's all I have for today, just for today. And I'm so excited to be here. Like I said in the beginning, I'm so excited to be on this journey with you and to open up lines of communication. I think sometimes when things are not comfortable to speak about, when we feel a sense of discomfort, that's when we need to confront. Okay, we need to confront and we need to talk. So talk to me, subscribe to my YouTube channel, email me, comment, and I'm going to steal Ellen's line for every video that I post, and that is be kind to one another. That's it. And I will see you guys next week, and I hope you have an amazing, fantastic, wonderful week. And yeah. Bye.